Today we are joined by successful entrepreneur, business
Yeah.
genius,
Mogul.
musical musical mogul,
Yeah.
and all-around Superman, Alex Sturman.
Wow.
Alex, how are you?
Mate, that was all a bunch of bullshit. That's not
What?
me.
What?
Um, I'm actually just
Why,
the
why,
janitor
why
for.
we've got you on this fucking podcast then?
Mate, I don't know if like just pity in it, because I am actually the janitor for Teddington School.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
that's
rough, man.
that's pretty peak.
I mean,
Yeah, and like,
I've been in those toilets, so I sympathise. I sympathise.
yeah, nah, to be honest. But nah, jokes aside, yeah. Um, I'm feeling pretty great, pretty high, but that's how we roll. How we roll, baby.
I've been going
Always
sober
high.
for like over 24 hours now.
Oh my god.
It's been quite unreal.
That reminds me of the time when I woke up in the morning that one time,
Mm.
and I was like, just a bit like waved from the fact that I was actually up with the sun.
Yeah, it's
It was
crazy.
weird.
Like when you go sober for a bit, and every now and then you just take a moment and you realise that your mind is kind of like in a high state sometimes, just from
Mm.
like the experience. It's weird.
Mm.
And you realise
Yeah,
just
man.
like, whether the weed is there or not, the ups and downs are there regardless. You know what I mean? But it's, I think, the sort of different element of it is that when you stay sober, there's just this complete continuity of your experience, and so everything is sort of
Mm.
more clear in a way in like retrospect. But when you get high, you end up having these gaps of memory or whatever, and your experience shifts so drastically every now and then, and it just kind of shakes things up a little bit, which obviously has its advantages and disadvantages.
Mm.
So do you think you're gonna be sober more often, or has this experience left you like horrified?
It definitely hasn't left me horrified. After the sort of period of like, well, after the first day, where it's like, for every hour, for every like moment in the day, for everything that you do, there's that little voice that has the right thing to say to convince you to fucking bun. Uh,
Mm.
but if you get past that, then you realize it doesn't actually matter whether I'm bunning or not. And if I really think
Mm.
about it, I might as well not.
See, things I know that rationally,
Yeah.
but I still bun all day.
Yeah, well, it's weird because there's really the difference between, being like, oh, I'm just gonna bun, and that happens every single day, and going, well, I'm just actually not gonna do that. It's not that big. It's literally just whatever your whim is.
Mm.
And it
Sure,
feels,
man.
so inconceivable when you're in one, to be in the other. And that's sort of like that sort of cognitive gap that I've always been sort of perplexed by, like that, the ability of the mind to be like, well, when you're in this state, the everything else just seems so nonsensical and obsolete. It's like this is it right here. You know, whatever it is, and everything else seems so pointless until you're in it, and then the reverse happens. Like, for example, when you're like in a depressive little state, and you don't see any reason to be happy. You don't see any reason to be chipper, and it's just inconceivable. But then when you're out of it, you're like, why was I like that? That it just doesn't compute. Alex, I've seen that you've turned your name to a long dong. Explain yourself.
Wait, see, that you're just viewing it as a long dong, but it's actually just an 8 with a bunch of equal signs ending off with a D.
See,
Capital
well,
D.
I'm seeing it as a
Um,
happy face of Huey Long Dong, who was the
yeah,
dictator of Louisiana in 1936.
yeah, everyone knows that guy.
Yeah,
Can wait, what's his name again?
Huey Long. nicknamed Long Dong.
I think his name was Huey Longdong, actually. I think that was his official name.
Imagine.
Well,
Fuck.
I think
That'd be a-
he probably made it a law, you know, like you have to call me Long Dong or I shoot you.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I would play him in Civ 5, like 100%.
You
If he
can-
was in Civ 5,
You
I'd
can play him in Kaiserreich, which is a mod for Hoi 4.
Huey Longdong is the leader of like Rwanda.
Wait, is he actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the orchestrator of the genocide. He killed the Tutsi
We
president.
probably
and
shouldn't be
started
laughing at fucking genocide. Yeah.
That nose is a little bit small. Are you sure you were a Tutsi?
Yeah, but you know whose nose isn't small?
Mm?
Oh, I forgot his name. Fuck. The guy with a really big nose.
Oh,
from Discord
shit.
chat. That guy.
Oh, Nigel Thornberry. Yes.
That's the one. Nigel Fort, mate. Oh,
Who the fuck is Nigel Thornberry?
Oscar, you need to get to know Nigel Thornberry. He literally, he's like the Santa Claus for cat. He just goes around and like sniffs everyone's cat, but leaves an empty baggie instead
Yeah.
of presents.
Well, he's got that nose.
He leaves an empty baggie.
Yeah, for
It's
yeah,
the shittest Santa Claus ever. He takes your cat and doesn't even
Yeah.
give you anything.
yeah. That
He
he's
buys
just
like
fucking,
200 baggies on eBay for like £5.
I mean, just look at his fucking eyes. Like he's clearly on it. He's so on it that his hair's gone red. That's how on it. he
Oh,
is.
is that him?
Yeah, yeah, that.
Oh,
No, it's the
shit.
guy above. It's the guy above with the specs.
Oh no, wait, what? Internationally renowned fucking drug dealer.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit.
Just bringing my boy Nigel up so that people can see.
Beautiful specimen.
Yeah. Big up Marvelous Mike for that realistic reproduction of the Don. Obviously.
Oh shit, yeah. Saw
That's like the
cheeky
Wallace
little-
and Gromit version.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck you know. No, it's beautiful.
God.
I love that.
It's kind of, you know what though? He kind of has like a Hitler moustache. It's just slightly elongated in both ways. You know, if it was just kind of squished, it'd be exactly like a.
Well, it's like
the Hitler
gingerized, you know. It's like if Hitler was ginger, imagine. Like,
Oh fuck.
I don't think he would have
Fuck.
got in. I don't think he would have become the leader. if he was
I mean, you
ginger.
can't
I
really
seriously, I don't.
you can't really
Nah,
chat
to
about
be
master
fair.
race while being a ginger. You know, I mean, Hitler was barely a master race specimen himself. Like he didn't have blonde hair.
Yeah, word. It was hypocritical. Wasn't.
But ginger
I don't
would
know
have
if they
just
were all about the blonde hair though.
smashed it.
I think
Yeah, I
that
mean-
was more like the advert thing, like blonde hair, blue eyes. I don't know if they're all about that. It was more about like Germanicisms and shit, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like being Germanic, you know. I don't know if it was so much about the blonde hair and shit. I think that was more just like an ideal to strive towards. And it's weird
Mm.
because like Sweden actually did like do a lot of weird sort of sterilization eugenics policies, and that's why a lot of Sweden today look really like attractive. They wore like 6-packs. They were like 6'2". The men are anyway. They
Got-
all like got
Nigel.
blonde hair, blue blue eyes, all that shit. They look like the sort of Supermen of Europe. But you know, then you think like, well, yeah, but they also did like eugenics and shit. So,
Like
and also
Bill Gates.
I've met some Swedish people and they weren't very attractive. So I don't know how true it really is. I don't know if it's Swedish people who are answering the survey. You know, do you find other Swedish people attractive?
Are you
And they're
sure
like,
it's Are you sure it's like Swedish or like, you know,
Swedish.
Afghan immigrant Swedish?
That's a
"Yeah." No, I mean, I remember. You know, I mean, we all know there was a Swedish don at our school.
Oh yeah, I
and,
mean,
and his
Where,
mum.
who?
I mean, I saw his mum, and you know, I mean, I wouldn't tap that. Is what I'm saying. So,
What
And
the
if I-
fuck, Oscar? That's
I mean-
really. That's
well,
really
no,
mean.
I'm just saying. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that he would say
No,
the same
sure.
about my mum. I'm just saying I wouldn't say that about his. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying.
Well, actually, I'm not gonna agree with anything you just said with the thing about your mom and
Alex has got to protect himself from
yeah, I'm not gonna that's a no comment.
litigation and lawsuits.
yeah.
So, Alex, you're an enterprising young individual.
Yeah,
Why don't you
yeah,
tell us
maybe.
about your new project? Because you're always working on something, which is one of the things that I'd say I respect.
Mm.
You always got a project going on. So what is this recent project that is going on? Cloud Rap UK. How's that? What is that? How's it going?
Mate, it is the.
What does it mean to you?
Okay, yeah, let's not. Okay, I mean, like, it doesn't really mean like it's just music
No,
in it.
no,
Like,
just
let's
say
not
what you
make it.
want. It
Yeah,
doesn't
let's
matter.
not
Just
make
say
it
what you
cringe.
want. Say what you want.
But nah, it's mate, I, like garage, yeah, like DnB, like jazz, like
Yeah,
fucking
I do.
R&B, rock and roll, yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah.
What do all of those have in common? Yeah, what are they?
Oh,
You
their
get me?
music.
Singing.
It's genres, mate. Genres,
Oh,
music.
nah,
That's what
G.
cloud. That's literally what fucking Cloud Rap UK is. That's a new motherfucking
What?
genre, bro. Actually, to be fair, it could be. It's probably more of a subgenre of just rap, to be honest. But nevertheless, anyhow, yeah. I mean, thing is, yeah, it's already existed for a while, but like in the US.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Like it's a really big niche. Well, wait, that makes no sense. It's like a
Ethnic's
really
not.
small niche, but
I mean,
there's really
we've listened to some of it, me and Majik, and it was sort of like lo-fi type rap. Would you agree with that, Majik?
Yeah, sort of
sorry.
chilly kind of shit.
Yeah, it's yeah, no, it kind of incorporates like we try and incorporate like spacey like synthesizers and fucking space pads and shit. Just
Mm.
just like trippy like one shot. The one shots are like the type of noise that you can get on like FL and stuff. Um, yeah, no, it's literally just to make you feel like you're floating, quite literally. You know what I mean? That's why it's cloud.
It's the sort of music that creates an out of body experience.
Kinda, yeah. I feel like there's more potential of it like being more instrumental rather than like lyrical.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
genuinely think like there needs to be more instrumental only music because like lyrics are sick and all, but I don't know. You can
I
do
just think we
more.
need lyrics about different shit. I've said this many times, but like
Yeah,
nearly all lyrics nowadays, yeah,
yeah.
right. And this is like to do like pop and shit. It's all just like love songs, and it's so dead.
Oh
It's like,
yeah, but that's
why
pop.
did you break my heart? It's all just songs like that.
I
Yeah,
loved
that's
you.
I loved you so much.
yo guys. That's actually quite good. Like,
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, we
we might
actually
need
got a
to.
pop duet
We might need to
operation
do a
going on.
collab.
That's
might-
collab.
Collab.
Yeah, no.
A
After the
collaboration.
podcast, we'll do a little, yeah, little cheeky collab.
And
Get
a
the
lot of rap I've said is just sort of talking about like smoking weeds, getting
drugs,
girls,
getting
selling
girls,
drugs,
selling drugs. Yeah,
making money.
Being a hard man.
yeah,
Yeah, like stabbing someone. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
make money, live in a strip club, splash that cash
Yeah.
Yeah,
every
exactly.
day
And
of the
then
week.
yeah, exactly.
Having
Exactly.
drip.
Yeah,
I think we need just music lyrics about different shit for a change, you know?
yeah. I mean, the thing is, yeah, um, what you described is like
This is why I like to listen to Tibetan throat singing.
that is underrated heavily.
Well, it tells the story of Genghis Khan and his ridings across the eastern steppes, and it's really inspiring, you know.
It is. It
I
makes
mean,
me want to kill 60 million people.
Yeah, and rape the rest.
yeah, bro, fuck drill, yeah, because you know how drill makes you feel like you're like the shit. You want to go like rob someone. Nah, mate, fucking Tibetan throat singing that will get you into like
Yeah, well,
some primal
yeah,
state.
that
Yeah.
No one
shit
can
brings
mess
you on the
with you.
warpath. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like
Whenever I'm building myself up for something, I always listen to Tibetan
mate,
throat.
if you're on your ones at night and it's like 2 a.m. and you don't want to get like jumped by some fucking goons, mate,
By the
Tibetan
clown
throat
hunting
music.
you just bring out
Trust
your
me, like,
speaker, blast that shit on the 4 blocks around you.
yeah, man. We're a ghetto blaster. You know what a ghetto blaster is? It's like those fucking. It's like an old school like radio fucking.
Just get a megaphone.
Or just get like a UE boom, whatever float your boat.
Yeah, yeah.
Floats your boat, mate.
No, get like a boombox, you know, that you carry on your shoulder and shit.
Yeah, yeah, just some fat fucking boom box. Oh my days. Yeah, man. But
Yeah, break into like a bunch of people's cars, right? And just play on all their cars. Just play that song on all of them. I think that'd be so good.
mm, That kind of reminds me of I
Don't
saw a
don't
video.
drive the cars. Don't steal them or anything. Just play the song. I think that'd be perfect.
It has to be in sync though, otherwise it'd be a
No,
bit. Well, just have
it'd
it.
be like London's Burning, you know, like.
They were just playing at different like time intervals, and it just kind of meshes into this like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As long as you did it for when like a beat
ear
dropped,
rape.
or whatever, you know, like when the bar ended, you know, and then you start playing it, it would sound like the beat itself might sound in sync. The lyrics wouldn't be. But who gives a
Hmm.
shit about the lyrics? We were just talking about fuck the lyrics, so
Yeah.
that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
yeah, no, like I don't mind lyrics. Obviously, it's just like you said. There's not
There are
enough.
some deep lyrics, you know, like that's why I like Pink Floyd. Like Pink Floyd,
Mm,
you know, like Dark Side the Wall. No, not Dark Side the Wall. Dark Side the Wall.
You just
Dark
combined
Side
two
of
oh,
fucking
that's a
albums.
big fail.
That's like Dark Side of the Wall, Dark Side of the Moon. Like
Yeah,
I think
Dark Side of the
and
Wall is my favorite.
and the
Yeah.
Wall as well. It's not and Wish You Were Here. Not like I don't think there's any like love songs in them. You know what I mean? It's all just about like
The
life,
world. Yeah, yeah.
struggles, just humanity in general. They're all very like psychedelic
Well,
like lyrics and
to be
stuff.
fair, yeah,
It's so like it's like a
yeah,
modern
yeah.
religious song almost.
The
You
th
know, it's like
the thing as
to me
well is like
that's
that those two albums, The Wall and Dark Side of the Moon, were both like inspired basically just by like Sid Barrett's descent into madness.
yeah.
That's like they got all that content from that.
I love that lyric. Leading lives of quiet desperation is the English way.
Yeah, that gets you off,
That's
doesn't it?
that's such a good lyric.
Whenever you feel, you know, bad for like being a piece of shit, you just remind yourself of that lyric and justify
Yeah,
your
I just
actions.
blame the fact that I was born in Britain.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. Yeah,
McQueen.
Mm.
Queen.
But yeah, nah. For
Always
real,
be
man.
a queen.
Fucking the lyrics and shit. It all just depends on the genre. Cause hip hop, yeah, that has deep lyrics. That's literally all about struggles and shit. Like old school hip hop.
Yeah.
That's literally there is a bit of love in there, but it's mostly to do with like corruption and like East Side versus fucking West Side and shit. Like which is also orchestrated by the elite. I can guarantee you that.
Definitely.
Tupac, yeah, Tupac, Biggie. That was all fucking planned by the elite. They were cherry picked so then they could like fucking use these guys as like a Jesus figure for both the sides of like America. It's quite far fetched though. I can't lie, but I don't
I
know.
don't know. I love theories like that. You know, I mean, the thing is, if you do believe in conspiracies, like they're going to try and like, you know, Great Reset and shit, which we've talked a fair bit about now, you know, on the podcast
Mm,
and stuff. You know, I mean, you probably also it's not out of the realm of possibility that they're also going to like fuck with like the entertainment industry. You know, music, TV, films, that sort of thing.
mm.
Like to sort of spread certain messages or
Oh,
certain ideas or you know
definitely.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean
Def-
that's proven. Like Hollywood has definitely been used for that. I mean, television and all those sort of mediums developed out of, you know, a sort of centralized source of propaganda essentially, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and
Mm.
there's a bunch of different interests as well. Like I know that for films, like a lot of films made in America to get like big gun scenes and stuff, you need a lot of guns, right?
Mm.
And a lot of those guns are only owned by like the army. So you need to ask the army to use those guns. But in exchange, the army has to review your script, right? And see if you say anything too like damaging about the army or something or some shit they don't want to get out,
Yeah.
you know? And they have to review your script before they like let you have the weapons or whatever. And also, you
Mm.
know, like and there's also the thing with like the Chinese and stuff, how like Hollywood just bends over to like Chinese censors. Like obviously the new Star Wars trilogy, well not new now really, but you know, from that episode 7 to episode 9. I mean, episode 7 there was Finn, right? You know, Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He's played by
Black
John
brother.
Boyega,
Yeah, yeah.
British guy, yeah.
Hmm.
He was going to be one of the main characters. If you look at the original like poster art for that film, like he's like one of the big guys on the thing.
Yeah,
He was
but
the main character, and then because like China are like pretty racist and shit, like China
yeah,
is
word.
fucking racist as shit. Like
'Cause
they
he's black.
basically made them. China basically made them sort of tone down his role in the movie, and that's why in like episodes 8 and 9, he's like barely in it, and when he is, he's doing jack shit, you know.
Mm, mm.
And there was his like Asian girlfriend in it as well, in
Oh
like the
yeah.
eighth. And then I'm pretty sure she was actually from like Hong Kong or Taiwan or some shit, and China was like, "We're
Oh,
not having this." And then the ninth movie, she was in it for literally like 2 scenes. She said like one line.
that is fucked, to be fair.
Yeah, you know, it's ridiculous.
Mm.
And you have a lot of
Yeah,
like
man.
films where like China's always like you see like there's Arrival. There was this film Arrival that came out where like these aliens they land everywhere, right? They land in like 20 different countries or some shit, right? And a lot of
What,
them
and like,
major
wait,
countries.
what do you mean by land though? Like
They
in
just
like
land their ships. They got like
oh,
some
okay, yeah,
big
yeah,
ships.
like
They just land
pods.
there. Nah, they're like weird sort of like yeah, they're weird. They're not really pod shaped though, you know.
Okay, yeah,
They're
yeah.
more like sort of towers, but I think.
Oh,
But
mad.
they sort of like all the world comes together, like the Chinese president comes together with like the US president, the Russian guy, and they need to go to the Chinese for help and shit. And it makes them look all like benevolent and you know, and in
Mm.
reality you're thinking, oh wait a minute, like what about the fucking Uyghurs? You know, like this guy is not like they, it's weird that China is allowed such like influence in like a
Mm.
culture, and it's mostly because just it's a massive audience, and you want to cater to it. You know, I think it's the same
Mm.
reason why Google like allowed Google to be censored when they went to China, because they were like, well, if they don't do it, they'll just copy it. You know, and we want those billion people using Google.
Mm.
Although I think subsequently Google has also been banned from China now. So
Yeah, man. China's like, yeah, they really don't give a fuck. Like, I don't understand how But to be fair, there's no real way to tackle it because everyone knows China is just like just censors pretty much everything. Like in terms of like social rights, it's fucking shit.
non-existent.
But yeah, so but my point I'm trying to make is that how come nothing's been done to like try and help them like properly, or has there been like, you
But
know what
what
I
can
mean?
you do though? Like,
Yeah,
like
no, that's what I'm saying. It's quite a sticky
you
situation
can't
because like
invade because
yeah, because then it looks pretty bad on yourself if you
well, it looks
invade
bad on
as well.
yourself, and it's also probably impossible because they have 5 times the population of like America. You know,
Yeah.
I
got
mean,
way more
Yeah,
control.
but
it's a
quality
pretty shit
quality over
idea.
quantity, mate.
Well, yeah, but the Chinese people don't know that, and you got to convince them that you're a better force than their current government, which has
Which
indoctrinated them their
you're,
entire lives.
you're never gonna convince.
Oh, true,
I mean,
actually, yeah.
indoctrination
Otherwise, they won't
aside,
support you.
nobody wants to get invaded, right? Like,
Well,
the
yeah,
Iraqi population wasn't like, oh, Americans, please save us from Saddam. You're never going to convince them that they should allow you, and cooperate or whatever. So it's
I
always
mean,
going to be a terrible conflict that's going to result in mass devastation, and that
Vietnam has
doesn't really
got
help anything.
less people than America. But I mean, in Vietnam, like everyone went out and fought pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Mm,
all the Vietnamese people would come out, some of them would just have like a fucking pitchfork, they'd hide in a tree, spear some don, maybe set up some traps, some spikes or some shit with shit smeared on them, you know?
mm,
Like they'd set up traps, everyone was involved trying to get them to like leave the country, apart from like the South Vietnamese. I guess they kind of like the US, but it was a
Yeah.
non-stop, just slugfest. It was awful,
Well,
you know?
yeah.
The South Vietnamese population didn't even love them, and over the course of the war, they largely defected to the Viet
Yeah,
Cong, because the South Vietnamese government was itself horribly oppressive and was only backed up by U.S. intervention.
yeah, and so and then you think about doing that in China. I mean, China's fucking massive. It's one of geographically the largest countries. Population-wise, it is the largest country. It's got many different like climates and like environments in China itself. You got like bamboo forests where pandas are dying, and then you got like deserty, mountainous shitholes where like Muslims are dying. You know,
Mm,
like China's you can't invade China. So, and they make all our shit, so you can't really do much to them economically either. They make most of our medicine, all our clothes, like, most just the normal shit, like your keyboard, your computer screens, your whatever, phones, like
Yeah,
Yeah, well, taking that
mate.
into
It's yeah.
consideration,
books, I guess,
it
maybe.
I guess it wasn't the wisest thing for Trump to do what he did in regards to China, because he supposedly had a hard stance of China on China, but he didn't actually do anything except burn bridges, which you know he backed out of that trade agreement with China. If they would have kept to that, maybe you could have like hemmed them in economically so that they at least weren't so openly aggressive and confrontational because they need the markets or whatever.
The thing is, what he said was right, though. I mean, they were fucking them, like
Yeah, word.
in terms of
Like,
trade. I'm pretty sure like
yeah,
China was just like getting a much better deal than the US was.
yeah,
And I can understand from a security perspective how you wouldn't want the most powerful country in the world now
getting more.
to be like, well, no, I mean like you wouldn't want this, right? You wouldn't want the second most powerful country, aka China, to become the most powerful country by continuing to like give them economic support that
Mm.
is basically like unearned or
And
is
yeah,
unfavorable to you,
and
especially
it's
when
like,
that second most powerful country could become most powerful and will still be an authoritarian shithole.
mm.
Well, I think it's more complex than that because it's not like it's not like any interaction with China is just China like leeching off of everybody else. China is as dependent on the West as the West is on China, right? Because they need markets to sell to, and that's why they're doing their Belt and Road Initiative to create markets in Asia and all the way up to Europe in order to have an
That shit
alternative to that.
scares me. Like
What's that
this
about?
new, well, it's basically the Silk Road,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not the tour website, not the drug website,
But
the
it's
actual
it's
Silk
based
Road.
on the Silk Road though.
Yeah, yeah. Basically,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
road that went all the way from like Europe
Mm.
to China,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and like just massive trade just happened because of that. And I think it was built by like, was it built by the Chinese or was it built by someone else?
Um, no, I mean, yeah, it was facilitated
I think a
for a
lot of it
large
was built
part
by the
by the
Chinese.
Chinese. They like made sure that it persisted basically across the Gobi Desert and shit, and
Yeah, but
then
other
uh,
people's
and then
cities and stuff connected to it and
yeah,
stuff.
well, and then it
Yeah,
reached Central Asia, and then there were loads of trading cities there, and it sort of just went all the way.
yeah, yeah. So they're basically doing that again, but with like high speed trains, securing
Mm.
like ports.
It's like the
Uh,
modern day Silk Road.
Yeah,
yeah,
so it
exactly.
goes across land, but also along the coast as well. And what China
Yeah,
are
yeah,
doing, they're obviously
Mm.
like massively investing into the infrastructure of these different countries. And this cheeky thing that they're doing, for example, is like I think in Pakistan they're doing this, and in Africa as well, where they
I can
literally
imagine what.
they build a
Yeah.
port, right? They basically
Mm.
like, "Aye, we're just gonna build you a port, yeah, but we're gonna own it."
Yeah, yeah,
They're basically doing
yeah,
what the Portuguese did, yeah, in the fucking early
yeah,
colonial ages when they came into Asia, yeah, started fucking making
yeah.
little trade hubs and owned them, and they were like, oh yeah, we're
Yes.
trading with you, it's cool, and they just dominate the fucking trade in the area.
yeah. Not to mention,
That's such a good like comparison. That's
not to
literally.
mention that they plan to make Africa the new China.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
there's so
Literally.
much economic investment going into Africa from China, and in a
It's,
way, like the economic investment itself is a good thing. Like
mm.
Africa does need like economic investment to actually become like a better place for
Yeah, because the
nearly
potential's
everything.
huge, man. It's actually
Yeah, they're
insane.
Yeah,
booming
exactly.
populations and stuff, but
Yeah,
I would
but
watch
then
out.
but China are planning to basically buy them and use them
Yeah.
as their new production base as like more middle class people emerge in China
Mm.
or more
Mm.
working class people
Yeah, because
grow
that's
up to middle
that's the
class.
thing. China is transitioning from this massive production powerhouse because the middle class in China is growing, and they're starting to approach this problem that the West is having of an aging population as well.
Mm.
And so they need they're basically desperately trying to mitigate this. There's also the question of resources, and that's why also they're moving into Africa a lot, and they're also eyeing up the Arctic They're like,
Yeah, bro.
Russia has like massive claims on the Arctic, obviously, and China's basically going, actually, we also have a stake in it. We want to be on the Arctic Council, and can you like give us some of that, please?
Mate, it's yeah. There's loads of countries though that are fighting for the Arctic. There's so
Yeah.
many fucking resources there, man.
Well, it's a
I feel
crazy
like
thing because it's like only a few countries have like actual stake in it physically, but
Mm.
they can't possibly hold on to all of it. Like Canada can only possibly hold on to it by basically becoming America's bitch in that regard. Russia, you know, they have some capability, but they can't afford to use it to the maximum potential because they're not strong enough economically. And even though they're militarily strong, and there is some semblance of an alliance between Russia and China, that really can't last if China really wants to move into the Arctic.
is there?
Well,
Yeah, what kind of yeah?
there's
I
this
want to know
sort of
about this.
pseudo alliance, right? Where obviously they're like, well, we're the second-rate powers, and the US hates us, and we hate them. So let's help each other in order to advance our own ends. But
Right,
it's
but they backstab each other without a second thought.
yeah,
Yeah,
without a second thought.
literally.
Because it's like China, you know, is the economic powerhouse. Russia has a big military, but China's quickly like reverse engineering Russian tech, so they're catching up militarily. And Russia is just sort of falling behind in all aspects, and
I
China's
do
like,
find it
we don't want that
like
baggage.
I do find it interesting what you're talking about at the Arctic though. I think what's going to be even more mental is like I think it's either Bolivia or Ecuador. Um, there's these massive salt fields
Mhm.
that are really high in lithium,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and lithium is crucial for batteries and
Yeah.
just technological bits
Mm.
and bobs, including in all your phones, in electric cars, all that sort of stuff, and anything like that. But especially the electric cars, as that becomes more and more mainstream, you know,
Yeah.
which it probably will. Let's be realistic. That it probably will become more and more popular. The technology will get cheaper. The access to like the ability to like refuel it and stuff will get more and more. Um, you know this like massive amount of salt concentrated in this place. I mean, I can't remember what country specifically it's in. I think it's in Ecuador. I mean, that country is going to be, you know, fucked from just all the powers trying to like get in on that.
I'm not sure
China's
if
going
it's
to
Yeah.
try to get in
Ecuador.
on
I
that.
seem to recall
The
that
US
it's
is on that.
like
Is in on that.
Bolivia, but also maybe. Well, I mean, maybe Ecuador has some of it, but also northern Chile, because you know it's sort of that region that
It might,
Bolivia used to have.
yeah, it's something like that. I mean, I
Mm.
know it's like I think it's the west coast of South America, something
Yeah, yeah.
along that. Yeah. So yeah. By the way, I mean that place is going to be, if not militarily ravaged, at least like corruption and shit is going to be mental there. I mean,
I mean, I'm looking
what
at
what will
Google Maps
US
actually.
companies and Chinese companies do? We've already talked about a lot of conspiracies. What will they do if this is like one of the biggest regions of lithium in the world that's crucial for upcoming technologies and
Mm.
especially in mass production? I mean, Jesus.
I think it's in
Yeah,
Bolivia
man.
because I'm looking on Google Maps right now, and you can literally see massive salt fields from fucking space. Hold on,
Ah,
I'll post it. It's near
I want
the
to see what
Chilean border.
Saltfield looks like. They
You can
like.
find like there's salt flats in like northern Africa as well, and like Tunisia and
Is it
Algeria.
just like really dry, arid land, or
Yeah, well, it's
um?
I think it's like you know
no,
lakes that dried
yeah,
up.
it actually has a little bit of water. In fact, I saw someone go there.
Mm,
Actually, has a bit of water there.
Yeah,
Like it actually
mm,
has like about a foot of water on top of the salt sometimes, because even when it like rains, like there's so much salt that it can't even like fully dissolve into the water. Like the water literally can't
yeah.
take any more or whatever. So there's always some water that's like left on the surface that just doesn't like seep into the ground or whatever, and eventually like
yeah,
evaporates.
bro. I just looked it
It's
up as
really
well.
insane. It's
Salt
intense.
salt fields, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They look sick, man. They look fucking
Yeah.
really
Got
cool,
I
actually.
fuckloads of lithium in there.
Mm. Yeah, man. All this is like pretty similar to like other shit going on, like like the East China Sea conflict.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Trying
literally, it's
to
like this. It's just the
grow their
same
reach.
sort of drama, but with a different context. Like it's just a bunch of different. Well, East China Sea it's only three, mainly China, Japan, and fucking South Korea. But it's the same thing. They're fighting for that space.
Yeah.
Is it just fucking
Well, I heard
it's
that
to
like
me.
China like fortified some rock. They're
Oh,
just about stuck out of the water, and they've been doing that in
oh
the South
mad.
China Sea as well, building islands and making like military installations on it and stuff.
Yeah, that's quite mad. Yeah, man. Yeah, literally, like life, like
How do you build an island?
it's
Fuck.
literally
You just
yeah,
dump like sand on it.
fuck ton of sand
How
and
much
then
sand do you need if it's in the ocean?
yeah, but you
You know how
find
in like
like a part of the
Minecraft,
sea
you like
like shallow.
you do like little terraforming. You just sort of like
Bro, you would
extend the
need
coast.
many stacks of sand to make like a
Well,
mine island in the middle of
Yeah,
the
but you
ocean.
find the
Like,
shallow part of the water, and then it's not that hard.
bro, if the shallow part of the water's already got land there.
yeah, but it's not like it just goes straight down. You find
No,
a
it does.
little thing where it's just sort of goes down gradually, and you just build it up. I mean,
Like
The
China has
water
lots of
eventually
sand.
falls off the earth.
They have the Gobi Desert and that.
I can't lie. When I've been swimming like by the sea and shit,
Yeah.
when you go further out, sometimes you do stumble on like this like massive rock that's kind of like a mini island, just like in the middle of nowhere. So I wouldn't be surprised if that existed, like other places in the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, there's these
Just a random
parasol islands,
piece.
right, in the South China Sea, and these are just
Yeah.
basically little rocks that stick out of the water that are
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uninhabitable, and they're just fucking building them up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh.
Man, that makes me think actually, if you can just build islands, maybe I don't even need to go to Papua New Guinea for my stronghold idea. Maybe if I've got the
Yeah,
resources, I could just make
yeah,
islands.
I kind of wanna chip in on this like idea. Like if we all chipped
Stronghold.
in for like a stronghold on an island, like could
Mm.
become like
Yeah,
massive.
bro. I think
'Cause-
this is a sick idea. Like, we gotta
And
get
the
the
funds,
entire clan there. Yeah.
mate, the funds would come from, you guessed it, stocks, mate, trading, mate, all
Oh, I
that
was
good
gonna
shit.
say crack.
And
I
well,
thought you were
I was
gonna say
looking
yeah.
at
Cloud Rap.
selling crack.
I thought Cloud Rap was gonna
I
like.
mean, mate, multiple streams of income. Fucking
Oh,
set up an
absolutely.
Etsy page.
Diversify
Sell
From
your
some
set
stock.
up my own Jedi Academy live stream. And it's sick.
Yeah, man. Yeah, set up a little Patreon, Oscar. Get
Yeah,
some
yeah.
like Patreons
Yeah.
to like donate to your.
It's my
You should
Jedi
make a
Do an
dojo. Oh,
OnlyFans while you're at it as well.
you should make a dojo for fucking Star Wars Jedi Academy.
That'd be nah. I was getting. I've looked into how to do like modding and mapping on Jedi Academy, and I've realized it's so fucking hard.
Really?
It's
Is
so-
it proper coding or is it just?
There's this.
What is it?
I don't. Well, I think like there is some proper coding, but there's this. This is like application called GTK Radiant, which is like
GTK Radio.
it's like some modding tool for PK3 files and shit like that.
Yeah, I see that.
I think it also
Interesting.
works on like Quake and shit, Quake 3, because it
Oh,
uses the
shit.
same engine.
Yeah. I think it's Unreal Engine, is it? I don't
No,
know. Oh, is it not? Nah,
no,
mate.
it's not.
Unreal Engine didn't
Completely
exist
wrong,
back then.
mate. Fucking out.
Could you imagine if Jedi Academy run on Unreal Engine, Alex? What the fuck?
Jesus.
Mate, you can make that a thing though. Like, you can
That
literally
is the
make a
thing, it's called
game.
Vertex.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Your
Yeah.
dream is
but-
fulfilled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love Vertex. Literally my favorite game.
Mm.
In it, followed closely by Left 4 Dead 2. Best game 2021.
I only play Left 4 Dead 2 because of the coach. It's the only reason.
What about Lewis?
Nah, fuck Lewis. He's
Lewis!
he's useless, mate. Coach is the big don. He's the
I
he's
always
the guy
like
that
playing Coach. Coach is great.
yeah, he just has a good personality, you know.
Coach is
You
my
don't,
spirit. It's my spirit guide.
mate. Like, I've been getting back into like playing like fucking games and well, not really. Like I've only been playing Stardew Valley, fucking some farming simulator thing. But can't lie, yeah, games are pretty calm. They're pretty cool. Game's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. I've played games before, and I found that at least some of them are actually really good.
I hate games.
Nah, but yeah, you know Joe Rogan hates them as well. He's like, guys, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, he's like, I got
Don't.
addicted to Quake, dude.
That's what
I'm
I'm
like,
saying.
this motherfucker hasn't touched a game since Quake. Oh my god.
Fucking
No,
Quake.
the thing is though, G, that's what I'm saying, because Quake, same engine as Jedi Academy.
Yeah.
Now you see where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit, you might be onto
If the
something there,
great
you know.
Joe Rogan was addicted to a game of the same engine, then it's clearly not my fault. It's just the game is so
I mean, I
good,
appreciate
it
the
can't
desperate
not be
plight
addicted
that you're
to it.
in. Don't get me wrong. I sympathise. Yeah, I'll donate if there was a charity that was willing
Yeah,
to
guys,
take you on.
podcast is literally an escape for Oscar to get out of his Jedi Academy addiction.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
he's
for real.
waiting for
That's
that
literally-
break just so that he can hop on and just stare at the menu for like 5 minutes so that he doesn't like. shit
Well, he's
himself.
like fried and shit, just like. Oh, yo, this game, man, so good.
He like
Man, I have
touches the
such-
screen, you know.
I have
caresses
such
it.
an abusive relationship with that game.
Mm.
I love it, but I hate it. And I feel like it
Yeah.
feels the same way about me. It
Yeah.
loves me, but it hates me. you
Yeah,
know?
who needs a girlfriend when you have Jedi Academy? Am I right? Like-
Words, especially when the disc has a hole in it.
Oh
Fucking hell, man.
Christ!
Oh, that is nail on the head. Mic drop. Pyong. You know. Yeah. Well, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you for watching.
Wait. I wanted to bring this up. So cloud rap, yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So the cloud thing is like it makes you feel like, because I had this theory that it's something to do with like burning fat clouds.
Ah, see, that's I did think about that before, to be fair, but kind of forgot about it. Yeah, to be fair, that is true. That is true. You probably do want to smoke to that type of music. I think it's intentional, in fact. Like
But
when
I
you
get it. It's
listen-
just sort of that like wavy element, It's like
yeah, I don't know, like that we couldn't really think of like any other word, you know what I mean?
because I definitely like identify with that because I listen to a lot of like stoner rock and psychedelic rock, and that shit.
Yeah, and it has
It's
yeah.
got that same sort of element, like it's music, made by people who bun, for people who bun, or trip or whatever, and it's got that same sort of wavy flowiness, so it just brings you up.
Yeah,
into some
no,
sort of
literally,
headspace.
you described it perfectly. Like, it is quite in a way it's kind of trippy sometimes. Like some tracks can be like borderline like psychedelic. So in a way it's kind of like psychedelic meets rap meets the underground of the UK, and then bam, you got like Cloud
I'm
Rap UK.
personally hoping that this can help introduce, a sort of psychedelic revival in this country. I feel like people need
Hundreds.
to get
Oh my God.
engaged in that again.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm trying to make. Like, just some really like quite bizarre, but also like interesting,
Just
trippy
because that's
psychedelic beats.
the real
like-
purpose of artwork is to be avant-garde, to push the boundaries of what is acceptable, and to sort of make
Hundreds.
people think like maybe this is actually something that should receive a bit more attention.
Yeah, no, literally for real. Like, that's at the end of the day, that's literally how music has always developed. Because you need to try something new to actually break through to a whole different sound, and then it becomes its own genre, has a whole community behind it, a whole like movement. Sometimes if it's
Yeah.
like really big, like the punks and shit. Like
I mean, your
hippies.
community is gaining like a lot of steam. Like it seems like anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
to be
there's a
fair,
lot of
it's
people in the Discord group.
yeah. I mean, there
A
could
lot
be
of people
more. To be
following
fair,
the playlist.
yeah, there is like there is like 1.2k now
Mm.
on the following the play. Yeah, to be fair, it's yeah, it's weird because everyone replies like, oh yeah, like we really rate what you're doing for the scene and stuff. But like I thought it already kind of existed. You know what I mean? So so the impression to me is that in the UK at least, there hasn't really been much of a push to like push this sort of music forward, like because it's just so niche. Like no one really thought like yeah, some psychedelic cloudy sounds mixed with rap would like work, but it actually kind of does. Like it does work pretty unique. But
Yeah, no, I think you're definitely onto something, G. Like, and it's the
Yeah.
perfect place in a way. You're in the perfect place at the perfect time to actually like may push it
Oh,
a bit more
yeah,
upwards.
yeah. With the
You know what I
whole
mean?
COVID situation, it gives you a lot of free
Yeah,
time.
and
Yeah.
you seem to be like surrounded, like your flatmate you were saying, who's your
Yeah,
like
literally
co-founder.
he is yeah, he's like the OG like fucking founder of the playlist. And now cuz like we just vibe with the same sort of music. It's like we're just co-running it, like
Mm,
trying to just push it out. But yeah, like it's not all about the music. It's also literally about, I don't know, giving really small artists like a bit of exposure.
well,
Because
yeah, I like the fact that on your Discord, I don't know what it was the other day. I saw some guy posted some
oh well, a
shit.
new album that he dropped or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, and everyone was like looking at that, and it was just like it was a wholesome thing,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, everyone like gives like yeah, everyone kind of
Yeah,
reacts.
people giving like support and shit.
Yeah, yeah. See that guy. I think you're talking about. His name's Saint Palms. Yeah, we might actually be doing an interview with him tomorrow. Yeah, he's like a up and coming um cloud rap artist. Yeah, like that's the thing, because I feel like there's too many people fixated on all the mainstream and like really well known artists. Like not even in the mainstream, like just in any genre, but there's
Mm.
like so much hidden talent behind, that whole image of all the greats that already, like, they've kind of already done their course of music, and now it's time to pass the torch to like younger up and coming artists. I mean that's just how I view it anyways.
I mean,
Like,
that seems to be like a general trend around the world in all things. You know, it's like
yeah, for
the
sure,
old
for
guard
sure,
is
but
coming out, and like people are starting to realize, like, look, we need to like kind of start deciding what the fuck is going on because we're not going in a good
yeah.
direction.
It's great though, isn't it? That's like it's part of the best part of the internet. It's probably the best part of the internet. It's just the overload of like just new content in
Yeah, man.
large numbers. But lots of it is just so quality. Like even just the
Mm.
shit that YouTube can recommend, it's like a 30-second clip. It's from 5 years ago. But it's like
Yeah.
you never heard
Mm.
of it. And then you click on it and it's like and you start laughing. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
man.
there's so many different avenues of content that can be created and discovered nowadays. It's really is quite amazing. And this is just I guess it's just a sort of natural progression of that really. You know, music
Yeah.
I don't I was watching a video recently by I can't remember who it was. It was the same guys who do like alternate history hub, I think. I think it was
Okay.
Knowledge Hub. Uh,
Yeah.
and they were talking about how in like the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, there was like a sort of core like message and feel of the time period that everyone like related to, you know?
Mhm.
But
Mm.
nowadays, everything is really like splintered. And it's like it's in one way really good because now you can find the specific, almost bespoke content that you want to watch more than anyone else. But it also means there's no sort of unifying sort of cultural ideas or music or anything like that. Like think about it, back in like the 80s or something, everyone knew who like, Michael Jackson was, you know? There's no one like that really today, you know? Like
Mm.
I don't think there ever will be. I think we're just going to keep going into more and more sort of niches, you know? But in a way, that's kind of like a cool thing because it just means there's so many new things to discover. I
Mm.
don't know,
Well, it's like
you
the
know?
Cambrian explosion, you know, just massive diversification.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great way of putting it.
Overall, though, like,
The Cambrian revolution of knowledge.
And just like
yeah, I like that too,
experience,
bro.
you know.
Yeah. Fuck.
Mm.
I think that's a good place to take a break.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. I might roll up another little.
But Allo Bogdanov, the food
Hello.
has been dumped and the
Yeah.
GameStop stock has shorted. In
Hmm.
this time of unprecedented market action, we'll
Hmm.
have to decide how to manage
Hmm.
this situation. What does this mean for the world economy? Dermanovic. You are our economical correspondent from Washington D.C. What is your opinion?
Yeah. Yeah. Buy that shit.
It's pretty deep, innit?
Yeah, it's quite deep. Yeah, but it's quite several feet deep.
Mm.
Actually, I'll have you know.
6 feet deep for
Um,
some people.
some people, 12 feet, mate.
Shit.
Yeah, yeah. I know, man. That is what you call deep. Fucking hell.
But
Yeah, nah.
seriously, do you guys
Hmm.
think that this GameStop event is this like a revolutionary moment? What are the consequences?
I think it shows some appalling signs of the epidemic that is Trumpism plaguing America
Listen,
and Reddit
mate,
that has caused people
mate,
to try and I don't know what
mate.
are they trying to do?
Trump
They're trying to
is the
disrupt
mate.
the
Trump is
natural
the.
order of things, and I think it might even be partially racist. I know for one, a
Oh
lot of
my
these
god.
hedge
Oof,
funders, they do
accusations are
hire
coming
a
out.
lot of these hedge funders.
Oh, yeah.
They hire black people, and I think the Reddit people,
Oh,
being fervent Trump supporters and
right.
hating blacks, hating women who work at these hedge funds, they
Yeah.
decided to try and make them poor, try and make those minorities jobless.
Yeah.
It's it's
No,
that's what
no,
I'd
no.
say it
I mean,
is.
you don't need to look
It's
further
it's
than
clearly evident.
the target of the
Yeah,
operation.
true
It's
same.
GameStop, yeah. And what is GameStop, yeah? It's a place where,
It's a
well, where
racist
gamers,
organization
yeah, gamers
who are
go to buy
racist.
games. Yeah, and
Gamers rise up.
gamers are racist. They're sexist. They are white supremacists. All of them, right?
No, but seriously, it
I,
was actually like an article that was like, can the GameStop thing be like, oh whatever, the headline. It was basically trying to argue that the GameStop thing and like Trumpism were like inherently linked or some shit. It was some
What the fuck?
ridiculous like news article that I saw.
what it is, right, is the establishment getting upset that people, regular people, are starting to take matters into their own hands. And
Power
they
to the
say,
people.
you know, this is Trumpism because Trump is like some populist, you know, demagogue or whatever. But this isn't about Trump, right?
Mm.
Trump's got nothing to do with this. Trump's a billionaire like the rest of them. This is about people, you know, participating in this system that has developed, this global capitalist system. And the moment they start playing by the game that the elites are playing by, they're suddenly like, oh, whoa, 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 we can't have this. This is unacceptable. We need regulation, which is utter bollocks, utter bollocks.
Yeah, see what I reckon is gonna happen. They're gonna probably say like, unless you have like some sort of business degree or you've worked in a law firm for or not law firm, a stock firm for like X amount of years, you won't be allowed to like sell stocks, or it'll be at like a higher price or some shit, some dumb shit like that, so that like regular people are like forced out of it, or you need to make some like big deposit up front so that like regular people again are like just forced out of being able to do it. And
Yeah.
it's just left up to the millionaires and the billionaires to continue to like, you know, harvest money on what's basically like a sort of fake economy.
It's
You know?
amazing because it exposes, like, you know, stuff like Robin Hood, you know, is like marketed as, oh, you know, it lets people, you know, go in small and participate in it. But really, it was just another way to fucking hook people in and get them on this, you know, gambling trend of like losing their money on the stock trades because they're not the ones manipulating it and pulling the strings. And the moment they start, you know, catching on and fucking over the big guys, they're like, ah, actually, you know, let's not be too hasty here. So
Mm.
it's just ridiculous. I don't think that, you know, I'm not too hasty to start going, oh, this is going to be some fucking socio-economic revolution, you know, the fucking dams breaking or whatever. But I do think this is just one of those touchstone moments, like, you know, with Epstein or whatever, or coronavirus, where people are just at large realizing that, oh, all of this is just kind of bullshit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you give access to like the same tools to like, I mean, realistically, like the stock market can be accessed fairly easily, like by anyone really. Like, if you give everyone the same tools and then you show them that you're fucking them over with it, eventually they're going to start learning how to use those tools, and then they're going to start coordinating like groups, like subreddits, you know,
Hmm.
like r/Wall Street Bets, you know, and then that's where it goes wrong because now you do have like hundreds of people, thousands of people all going in on it, you know, going on this whole operation, and it is like somewhat coordinated. You know, it's like it's Reddit coordinated. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not coordinated, but there's general posts saying do
Well,
this,
it's,
don't do this.
you
You
know,
know,
it's
like advice, things people follow. There's a sort of general narrative. You know, whatever. You know.
well, it's collective action, you know, and as always, the elites are afraid of real collective action because that's the only way that all the small people can really gain some power.
Mm.
So, yeah, the thing is, people discuss stuff like stock market manipulation as if it's like, some bad thing that is like it's like a problem with the system. But it's not just that, because often the things that seem to be the antithesis of what the system is supposed to be are actually fundamental for the function of the system. And an example of this is, for example, the black market in the Soviet Union, where like a third of all food that people got was from the black market. And
Yeah.
it's like without the state combats it and all this stuff, but really, I mean, without it, obviously everything would have collapsed. So it's
Well, they didn't
always
really like. It was mostly under like Brezhnev and shit, and like
yeah,
Khrushchev a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah, like a third of the economy is set. Like the whole of the economy was like basically the black market. And at that point, they just didn't really care, you know,
yeah,
like because they realized if we go after this like too heavily, it's just gonna,
yeah.
well, the whole country's gonna collapse really. Like people won't have like access to basic, needs, entertainment, food, that sort of stuff.
And I think the thing to get from that is like when the system is that, you can't like go like, oh, we can reform it from inside, we can make it better, optimize it, whatever. Nah, no, you got to tear it down. You got to present something that is the antithesis, the opposition to that. And I think that's something that is slowly, the environment is slowly developing for that to sort of come about. And it might come from the left, it might come from the right, it might be the birth of some sort of general bipartisan sort of thing where basically the paradigm shifts from liberty, authority rather than the left right.
Hmm.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Hmm. I'm hoping for anarchy, mate.
Well,
Are you ready for anarchy, Alex?
are you ready?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
the thing.
hundreds.
You're
I am.
100% ready.
Are you prepping?
1,000,000,000%, mate.
Bro, you got a
Billion.
place you're gonna go.
Yeah, Dubai, mate. And if
How
that
you gonna
doesn't
get
work
there?
out, Madagascar, mate.
How you gonna get there?
Gonna swim it, mate. Get a boat. Get a raft. Build a
Get a boat.
raft. Get
Get
a
a boat.
raft.
Well,
What,
Build
a
a
wooden
raft.
boat?
if you go in
Build a
Madagascar,
giraffe.
just go how they go in Madagascar. Just like go on a freighter
Get in box, mate.
in a box and then just pop off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, not
Just
do
stow
that.
away
Just
in a
bring some
random
fucking
ship.
Walker's crisps with me. Yeah, and just live off of that for like fucking a
Snickers
few
bars,
weeks.
Fucking Snickers can keep you alive.
M&Ms. No,
Snickers.
M&Ms would not be
Yeah,
good.
not
'Cause
you when you're hungry.
I just like scoff the whole packet.
Snickers.
Yeah.
Get soon. Sorry. Yeah, nah. Found a lighter with some sheep on it as preach.
Oh damn.
No. Yeah.
I send a picture of that on Snap. I want to see that.
It's like the Wallace and Gromit fucking sheeps.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shaun the Sheep and that.
Yeah, but there's 3 of them though. I don't recall there being. Oh, mate, the Flash.
Mate, you never watched the Shaun the Sheep show?
I don't think so. No, I haven't
Shaun the
really
Peep
watched
Show.
much. I've watched Peep Show. That's a good show, mate.
There was a show actually called Shaun the Sheep. He wasn't just doing like Wallace and Gromit and that. And they had like a fuckload of sheep in that. There was like a fat sheep, there
Oh
was like a
shit! I think
baby
I remember
sheep,
that
there was a
now. Yeah.
woman, like mum sheep.
Yeah, I sent the pic.
I think when I was younger, I thought that was like Animal Farm. Like based off that.
Kinda is, to be honest. Kinda is. Yeah, Animal Farm. Pretty jokes though. When you see in like school plays.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I mean, I don't think that's Shaun the Sheep particularly, but it's definitely sheep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hot.
Oh, safe man. Magic number 3. 3 of them. Have you guys been keeping up with like Joe Rogan and just like him migrating over to Spotify? Like,
Nah, not really.
Well, basically in the regard of like he's in Spotify now, so don't watch him. I mean, I don't. It's not like I don't watch him because of that reason, because I have Spotify Premium, but it's like
same.
I don't. I mean, I was just sort of fading away before anyway, so it's just like meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have premium, so yeah, I don't
I
want to
don't-
really sit through ads.
I mean,
I don't
anybody
really-
with any
yeah.
self-respect should not have to, should not force themselves to endure Spotify without a premium. That's my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. It's so fucking annoying, and on my browser and by extension YouTube has ad block. So, you know,
Yeah.
when it was just on YouTube, it was like, okay, I can just watch 3 hours, no ads, boom,
Mm,
you know. And he's
Yeah.
still, multi-millionaire, so
Oh,
don't feel that.
actually, I watched the clip finally to the end, and I listened to the thing at the end.
what clip?
The Jerry clips where at the end he fucking goes like, "Go to the Spotify app now and watch all the Jerry catalog
Oh
for
my
free.
God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Check all new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience exclusively on Spotify.
Absolutely free."
so corporate now. Like,
Yeah, it
oh,
just feels like, yeah, exactly. That's it. Isn't it?
fake as
Like
shit.
those endings, that's the most corporate sound like ending.
It's
You know,
fucking cursed,
I
man.
got respect for him. He made like a lot of money and shit. And YouTube wasn't doing
Yeah,
much
but
for him.
yeah,
But
but was it worth selling his dignity for it? No.
I don't even know if he has, because I haven't listened to his recent podcast, and I'm sure he's still
He
doing some
probably
good ones.
regrets it. I can guarantee he regrets it still.
Maybe he's still probably doing some good podcasts, but I just think, I don't know. It's not as easy for me to watch him anymore, and I don't really want to sit through ads just to watch him. So
Mm.
you
Yeah, I
know,
feel you. No, I understand that.
I've still been watching like old ones.
Mm. Yeah, because he
Um,
has made like over 1,000. Like, there's so
yeah,
much
he made
content.
like over 1,500.
You,
So like,
Oh
the
shit, Lex
average.
Friedman was
Yeah.
on recently. Oh, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, that was. I didn't watch it, but my mate did. Yeah, fucking.
Oh yeah, and he had Tulsi Gabbard on as well.
I'm not sure who that is.
so yeah, I'm sure he's doing some good shit. But
Yeah, no, no word. Like his quality of podcast probably hasn't changed at all. It's just the fact that it's on a different platform that you need to kind of low key pay for in order to like really enjoy. So
yeah,
it's kind of just deterred like quite a few people.
yeah.
Doesn't mean it's worse though. It's just the platform really. I
Is
think,
it
but
still on iTunes?
no idea to be honest.
Because that was like the bulk of his listeners.
Wait, serious? Who
Yeah.
uses iTunes, bro? What the fuck?
People
The
just
fuck?
listen, they wouldn't even watch the
I think
video.
lots of older people use iTunes because like they just always used iTunes because iTunes came out, like before. And then like, well, I've already bought all these songs on iTunes, so I'm not gonna move to Spotify.
Well, yeah, but no, that doesn't make sense because you need to buy the tunes on Apple, on iTunes even. You need to buy it. You get
Yeah, I
me?
know, but it probably just is like,
So switching to Spotify, you instantly
I know, but you probably have
make.
like a bit of loyalty, like you're just like, oh, like all these songs are here,
Yeah,
you know,
you're used to it, and you're like,
you get used to it.
I know,
Yeah,
but the fact is that Spotify is completely free, and then instead of just
Yeah, I know,
switching,
but
like
just
better
people
late
aren't
than
always
never,
like
better
always
late than never,
rational.
yeah. And then they're like, oh yeah, I'll be spending. I'm just gonna spend more money just so I can stay here. It's
Yeah, I
like,
know, but people aren't always rational, Alex. Like,
Well, it's
you know,
also,
some
you know, that
people are
feeling
just
of
like
like I've already
they do
invested
shit.
this much into it, you know.
Yeah.
mm. I say sell the iTunes account for like solid like 10 or 5 or whatever you can get, mate. Fucking just better off just selling it for like a
2p
few like paper clips or some shit. I'd like
dark web.
anything for that because like it's not that deep really. Like Spotify is just free, SoundCloud free. Big up the Cloud Rap SoundCloud
Big up, big
version
up.
playlist. Yeah, that's
Shout
out.
out.
Shout out to that. Yeah, link in the description.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, nah, it's can't. Yeah, I'm only joking. But
No, I'll put a link.
oh shit, safe man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
I mean, you know, Joe Rogan didn't used to be on Spotify at all, so I guess the people on iTunes just thought, you know, well, I could watch it on iTunes, you know, which I always just watch the things I watch on iTunes. So if this is on iTunes, I'll just watch it on iTunes. I won't watch it on YouTube, especially because if you do pay for it on iTunes, I don't think you get any ads. Whereas, you know, people who
I
use
don't get any
iTunes
ads
a lot,
anyways. Ad block, mate.
yeah, I know people who use iTunes a lot probably don't know about ad block and shit. You know
How
what I'm
can
saying?
you not?
Because they're
Baffles
older people normally who use iTunes,
baffles
you
me
know?
so
Gee,
hard.
my
What
parents didn't know about adblock. I like.
Yeah, I don't think my parents still don't know about adblock. So like, older people
Damn.
just don't know about that sort of shit. I don't think, but you
It's
know,
crazy, isn't it?
it is
Just the
crazy.
knowledge gap between generations is just insane.
Yeah,
I can't tell if it's getting bigger or smaller. Could get bigger actually because we're gonna like exponentially
Well, it's oscillating.
just.
you know, there are some like concerns about the realistic, I don't know what the word would be, realisticality
Realism.
Of
of
what?
how realistic it is that
Yeah.
it will be exponential because they find something with like, is it like transistors or some shit that they can only go like so small before they just don't work. How,
Transistors.
yeah, some like weird circuit board piece.
What? And it's like a universal thing that's just used in everything. Shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. It's like a basic component of your
Uh,
average sort of like wires and shit. And
yeah.
they're saying like
See.
they don't know how much smaller they could really make it. But then we might get like quantum computing, and that might just solve the whole problem. So I'm not, you know, I'm not
Oh
really an
yeah,
expert.
for
I think
sure.
so.
Quantum computing is just like your artificial god does everything humans can't do basically.
I mean,
Pretty much.
it's going to be the end of all like privacy at the end of the day. Because I mean, a
Yeah.
quantum computer could easily hack into your computer, no matter what human-made security systems you had.
Word.
You know,
That's
and even
fuck.
and even if the quantum computer itself made a security system for your computer, it would know how to disable it. So,
Unless the security they applied was like sentient and it basically developed over time as well.
oh, the security itself was an AI as well,
Yeah, yeah.
and everyone had that
Imagine
on their
that. The
computers.
sentient like fucking AI, but it's just
Ah,
security
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
That
like
well, that might
starts
be the solution.
Yeah. Well, it's always
because
like that, you know.
that's kind of Bitcoin. That's literally what Bitcoin is. Right? Sorry to interrupt, but
Oh
Bitcoin is
no, we're gonna get a
basically
fucking Bitcoin plug now. Rajik, our podcast has been hijacked for Bitcoin plug.
Well,
Go ahead.
it
wait,
was
who's Bitcoin
inevitable.
plug? Who's Bitcoin plug?
He's just my mate. Don't worry about it. Go on.
Okay, well,
We're gonna have him on soon.
yeah. See, I'm taking the spotlight for Bitcoin. Sorry, Bitcoin guy, whoever the fuck. Sorry, mate.
Alex is having an
Sorry, mate.
existential crisis.
Nah. I'm just really nah. But with the thing with Bitcoin is that it's exponentially getting harder and harder to actually mine it. Which is why it's so perfect because no one can just buy it out. Like a rich person can't just buy out Bitcoin. It's impossible. You need to mine it, and in order to mine it, you need some fucking. You already know all this shit. Like, but that's what I'm trying
You
to
need
say. Like,
really powerful computers nowadays.
yeah, no, literally, like actual. Like
Like really powerful.
back in the day, you could have like a few beefy computers and you could still mine like a substantial amount. But now, like that's the thing with with
now
it
it's
being
more expensive.
exponential.
Now you won't even
It's
get a profit from it, even if
yeah,
you're like beefy
yeah.
computers.
You need like a okay, not borderline NASA, but like borderline old school NASA computers. Like their new school shit's probably like fucking insane, but like old school NASA.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I think don't they say like all the technology from like the moon launch could fit in your
yeah.
phone nowadays?
Serious. I didn't hear that before, but
Yeah, like all
that's
the computers that they used in NASA for like the moon launch
fits
and
in your
shit
like ordinary
could
smartphone.
fit in your ordinary smartphone. Yeah, all the information. All that.
Damn.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Well,
like
I mean, because like,
yeah.
that was like the beginning of, automated sort of computing calculations. They were like using people as well
Mm.
in NASA and that, and they're only starting out to use computers for that purpose. And now
Yeah.
that shit can be done on anything, on a fucking toaster, mate.
Yeah, man. You know, there's like people that have fucking smart fridges. Like, what are you doing with your money?
I
Like,
like to play
you,
Angry Birds on my smart
yeah,
fridge.
like literally, why do you need that? That's
You
so
don't. It's dumb.
it's so
No one
oh
wants to
man.
stand at their fridge
Gee,
to play fucking
nothing.
like Angry Birds.
Like,
It's not
bro,
gonna
we
happen.
will be like old, yeah, and like
And I'll
potentially
still have never used that.
The
potentially like our kids' children will be playing like fucking Flappy Bird or Angry Birds on the fridge while they're waiting
We
for
play
like
Minecraft Pocket
food.
Edition on the
They'll
fridge.
be like
I'm not
they'll be
allowing that.
playing it on like the table. The
But
table will just have an
it's so
iPad in
dumb
it.
because
Just fucking
every time someone needs to use the fridge, they need to open the door.
yeah. Yeah. Oh,
So
nah,
you
not
gotta
in the
move.
future, mate. It just like detects your movement and it like opens for you. Like a
Yeah, but
automatic
then
door.
you still gotta move because you're standing right in front of it, clicking away at the
Maybe
screen,
it's on the
playing Angry
side. Why is it
Birds.
on the door? Like,
Maybe it's on the side, yeah.
Maybe it's in the fridge.
yeah, it's in the fridge.
What? So your fridge is just like expelling all the cold air, wasting electricity, so that you can play fucking Minecraft Pocket
Yeah, well,
Edition
that's
on
the
your
point.
fridge.
It's just rampant consumerism. You come
Yeah, man.
for the Angry Birds, but you stay for the electricity bills.
Mate, everything is consumerisms nowadays. Like it's all like life is just one big ad.
Yeah, well, the
Mate.
Maybe if
It's
the
just
whole
one
proportion,
big
fridge,
advert.
the
what if the whole
proportion
fridge was a
of
smart screen?
Our fridge is a smart
just
screen.
made out of like some crystal lattice, and it's just like fucking
Lapis lazuli.
nah, lattice, mate,
Lapis lazuli.
lazuli.
Remember, like in the Little Woods for fucking Yogg's class, and he's like,
Hi
No.
guys,
lapis lazuli, whatever the fuck he called it.
No,
lazuli.
he was too annoying. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No
nah. But to be
offense.
fair,
No offense
big
to
up the
my
Yogg's
guy,
class though.
but
Like Yogg's class was the shit back in the day. Well, not all of them, but
back in the
like
day,
back in the old days, yeah, the ancient golden era, yeah, golden age, yeah. Yeah.
word. Shout out.
Shout out Yogs.
Shameless plug.
Big up.
Yeah. r/shameless plugs. It's happening right now, mate.
Oh, dearie me.
So the
Oh, fuck.
proportion of like things that come out is rapid of things that come out that are actually like needed and useful is like rapidly decreasing basically,
Mm.
and you just get stuffed with like utter bollocks.
Yeah, and the amount of stuff that isn't useful is like really increasing,
Yeah.
like exponentially or whatever.
Well, it's a process, because old shit becomes obsolete, and there's just evolving process.
Well, the thing is, the first steps are always like the biggest, aren't they? Like the wheel and roads. Like we've had roads for thousands of years, right? Before roads, you couldn't have like big trade and shit,
But roads take up quite a lot of space, especially in cities. Imagine if you didn't need roads.
Yeah, but then you couldn't get anywhere.
Yeah, but like you fly in.
It's mad how like roads make shit go faster. Like it's just a bit. They just at the
I
end
mean,
of the day,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
still
you
the
don't want to
same ground.
drive over. Yeah, you don't want to drive over like grassy humps and shit, do you? Not in a
Might be quite
fucking
fun.
not in a fucking like Citroen.
Wait, one sec.
Not in a fucking Fiat Punto. Jesus. By the way, I just think you know, like the simplest steps are like always sort of the biggest, you know?
Fundamental.
Yeah, they're the most fundamental. Like they had roads back then, they weren't very good. It was like cobblestones and shit. Nowadays,
Cobblestone.
we got some nice smooth tarmac and shit, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, true, true. No, that is very true.
But it's still the same concept.
I prefer the cobblestone aesthetic back in the day for roads.
I like the cobblestone in Minecraft. A lot of people don't eat
I
like
love it as well, man. We should
even
play
in the
Minecraft actually.
even in the
I mean,
default texture pack.
I prefer dirt roads, to be honest. Cobblestone is too bumpy.
What
Mm.
in Minecraft?
Yeah,
No,
IRL,
in real
Minecraft.
life, IRL.
Yeah, so sorry, I get them mixed up sometimes. Minecraft and
Yeah, but like
and-
to drive on, you don't want dirt roads. That's just not as good.
No, it's
It's
yeah,
like,
but it
it's
gives
just
off
not
like a
good for
really
you.
cool
It's not.
smoke when you like drive
unless it's
over.
Yeah,
wet.
it does, but it's just not as good for your wheels or like just anything. Just the frame, you know.
Yeah, true.
You more like to bump it.
Yeah, but cobblestone is bumpy as shit.
I'm not saying use cobblestone either.
I'm just saying I prefer dirt to cobblestone.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, what about as a pavement though? Just pure walking.
I like walking on like dirt paths and shit.
Yeah, the same. It's like it's.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
you
know,
wouldn't want it like right next to Londis or whatever, would you?
That'd be
like,
kind of cool
never
though.
fucking
That'd be
gone
just
to
kinda
dirt
Londis.
next to Tesco.
Yeah, why not? The way you say it, you don't want dirt. You don't want fucking dirt
Why
next
not?
to Tesco.
Why not?
Like
This
fucking
would be
dirt.
grim. This would be grim. You want like a nice sort of like
No.
some stone
No.
slabs.
No,
Like,
mate.
it's calm if on their property, yeah, they have the fucking whatever stone slab bullshit. But on
But I
my
want
way there,
dirt.
yeah, on my road, yeah, it's gonna be nice little grass on the sides, fucking little dirt
Yeah,
road.
yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be grim.
Maybe a bit of like horse shit here and there, like. make it-
Yeah.
What about all the other residents who drive?
Yeah.
Fuck the other residents, G. In my
Just gonna,
in
like,
my
trees
fantasy
just sprouting up.
in my fantasy headcanon, there are no other residents.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Fucking residents. Who gives a shit about residents?
It was
Resident
dumb,
Evil,
it's-
mate.
It's robots put there
Residents
by
are
the
evil.
CIA to watch you.
The CIA can fucking look at my dirt road as much as they want. I'll get like those Zen rakes and I'll like make it all nice.
You're gonna till the earth and like plant some fucking crops in there as well.
No,
As
just
Carl
just tell
Pilkington
it.
once said.
It's fine.
Carl Pilkington once said, Zen Gardens is just a major product of extreme OCD. Yeah,
It's
yes it is.
well
Poetic as always.
Harmony.
From,
I know.
from
Big up Carl.
Pilkington.
Shout out to Carl.
shout out to
He is
I'll bring his face up on the
Come
thing.
get a shout out.
Shout
Carl.
out.
Shout out to Carl Pilkington. Maybe we can make him the desktop background. I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, his face is just mate. Just a fucking just a funny guy to like look at and shit.
Mate, look at that.
It's just a great Don.
Fucking hell. Yeah, man. I swear he's made a book. I actually really want to read his book because like I reckon it might be quite I don't know. It's unique.
Just insightful.
Yeah, man, because like he's a pretty blunt guy, so and I quite rate that. Like no bullshit, just straight to
he
the
makes
point,
some
even if it
really-
is offensive,
He
like-
makes some bold statements, you know.
He
Oh,
makes
yeah,
some good
sure.
points, and he's often misrepresented. I feel.
Oh yeah, bro, we had this discussion before where you think he's actually a real character, like he's real,
He's not an actor, bruv.
and I thought he's like actually putting an act on.
Well, I think it's a bit of
Sometimes
both.
he's
you
like
know.
really dumb.
It's like Alex Jones.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of both, but I think you can all agree that he does exaggerate it probably a little bit because he has like so many shows. You know what I mean? Every show has aspects of acting.
He did
you
it
know?
over
what I
years and
mean?
years and years. It's like Joey Diaz, like Joey Diaz on like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He's not like acting, is he? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but
Like, he's telling
that's-
stories
But he is
from his life
but
that
he
are
is
real.
performing, right?
I guess he's
Yeah.
exaggerating a little bit, yeah.
yeah, because
I don't
you know,
think Carl Pilkington is like. I think he's straight up. He just sounds like a
Yeah, but no, no,
genuine.
no, no. But no. I'm not saying
And the
he's like
shows aren't. The thing is, the shows are never around him. Like the podcast he's on was called the Ricky Gervais podcast or
show
whatever.
the Ricky
Ricky
Gervais
Gervais
show.
show.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, he was on the XFM radio show. He was a producer there for like 5 years before they ever even came on. And then
Mm,
it was called, it was called the Ricky Gervais, radio show on XFM or whatever it was called. You know,
yeah.
the email was, ricky@xfm.co.uk or whatever. Like it was all, and he was just some guy who came in, you know, like he was the producer, and then they started like discovering him and shit, and like they realized what a gold mine he was, and put him on, because you wind him up and you just let him go, and you just
Yeah, it's just free content, isn't it?
just for free content, isn't? Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's gold. It's gold. It's
It's
fucking.
gold
It's not old, but gold.
It's
Yeah,
Ruby
I
and
mean, I
because
can
Gemini.
he's
see where you're
connecting
coming from. Yeah.
ideas you would never think
But
of, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
with like a childlike innocence almost, and like questioning, inquisitiveness,
Mm.
Is he autistic?
I don't know,
I
maybe.
mean, the thing is, like, bro, because he's okay. I looked him up here. He's 48, so he's basically like kind of like my dad's age. Um, and like he's, you know what I mean? Like, there's some stuff that he says has to be either a little bit scripted or like extremely exaggerated. Because like sometimes the shit he says is like ridiculous. Like it makes no sense. You know what I mean? Like so you have, you know what I mean? Like, just doesn't seem real sometimes.
I don't know, because I've listened to like way,
Yeah, but
I
it's
need to find an
way more of it.
example of like what I would count as like
it's like sometimes we say stuff that's ridiculous. That doesn't mean like
No,
we're acting necessarily, but we're doing something,
yeah
and it's part of your personality. I think it's the
no,
same with
no, I'm
him.
not saying he doesn't ever do that or like joke or whatever, but it's like obvious when he's like joking. It's not like I don't think he's like a guy and they say, okay, like do this line or do this line or do this line. I think they have like questions for him. They want to ask him. They're having like conversations, and then he's there basically,
Yeah.
you know, and they bounce ideas off him and see what he says. But he's not like, I don't think he is deliberately doing anything. You know what I mean? Like I literally think he just sort of has those thoughts, and when he's asked, he just says those thoughts as they are, with pretty like low inhibition, really.
Mm.
That's what I think it is, anyway.
Well, I haven't seen enough of him to make a sound judgment, really.
But that's the thing. Like when you've seen like just the vast quantity of shit, you like. I mean, it's quite mental. I mean, there's hours and hours and hours of like recorded footage.
Hours and
yeah
hours. How many?
Hours and
upon
hours and hours.
Mate,
Hours is the glory.
life is actually becoming more of a video game by every
Oh,
day. For real, man. Like, I don't know, just it's 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 mostly to do with like the most recent thing with the stock market. Like when you view it as like from like from a grand perspective, like fucking it's literally a game that's one-sided, basically controlled by the elite because they actually have complete control over how stocks are influenced. Um, like they can like win no matter what the people do. Um,
well, that's what's happening now, isn't it? They're trying
yeah,
to like
yeah, that's what I'm
kind of
saying.
stop them from.
But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's literally like a game. Like how did investing become, a thing where people can make like theoretically infinite money? Because like that's kind of what the fucking GameStop stock demonstrated. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know how has it developed in the last couple of days. 'Cause I haven't really been paying attention to it. Um,
I was more talking about just the whole thing as a whole. Like, how did it even start? Like just stocks, like the beginning of stocks, shit. You know what I mean?
Beginning
how
of
does stocks
stocks,
become a thing?
the history of stocks.
Yeah, man. Like, how did it just become a thing where we could just
I think how it
invest on the
started,
phone?
it started, basically with the idea that, well, if you want capitalist ventures to be made, right, financing has to be done. And sometimes the people who have the ideas and the vision aren't the ones with the capital, and so then the rich people are like, all right, I'll finance your thing and you give me some of the dividends. And how it started actually in a major way was with colonialism, right? So for example, the Dutch would have these colonial ventures, but they were very risky and very expensive. And so what would happen is people, who obviously didn't want to go on these insane ventures out into the unknown world, into the fucking jungle themselves. They were just like, alright, I'll contribute to this, right? And if it's successful, I'll make boatloads of money off of, spice trade. That's how it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just gets like more complicated, doesn't it?
And then you get stock
after that.
exchanges.
It's just like layers, pretty much.
Yeah.
Layers.
Yeah, and it's just sort of eventually
Bureaucracy
just
and
gets sort of
politics.
more and more sort of just fake fictional, really. Like at the end
Yeah,
of the day,
yeah.
like
It's
back when it was like that sort of thing. It's like
Mm.
you're putting in a certain amount of money. Say you get like 50% back off the profits or some shit, and you can see you're harvesting like opium or some shit from India. You can see what you're making and selling. The
Yeah,
money's
it's more
coming
like
in.
practical. It's like you see it. You actually
Yeah,
see it happen.
yeah, exactly. But nowadays it's like subprime mortgages and shit,
It's like a
and
digital
like
asset. It's literally a
yeah, and like
digital asset.
short selling and short squeezing, like we saw with the GameStop
Mm.
stuff.
Mm.
Like
The thing with the thing with short squeezing and short buying, whether it's short selling, basically it's not even that good. It's already quite a well-known fact, like in the trading community. Like continuous buying always outperforms like any sort of tactic in trading, like in the long term. Because like when you look at the general trend of all stocks, they all go up, like no matter what. Like most of them all go up unless they become like bankrupt. Like obviously that's that's peak. But you know what I mean? Like
mm,
so if you're like a really patient, disciplined person that like can manage their money really well,
the
you can
majority
literally
of
just
stocks go up.
yeah, like yeah,
So the
because
majority of you saying the majority of companies that start up like succeed. 'Cause I don't know if that's true.
no, but no,
Well,
like
if they didn't
just
succeed from the outset, then they wouldn't happen in the first place. There has to be something that starts it off, and what happens after that, well, fuck knows. But
Well,
there's
yeah,
I
like
guess no
initially,
company
it always
starts
yeah,
goes
off.
up.
because you can't just start off and you can instantly be invested in. Like you kind of need to
Yeah, no,
build a
you're right.
name
You're right.
for yourself.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't.
So
because you're not a public limited company right from the get-go. That comes,
Yeah. No,
later.
fair enough.
yeah.
All right.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all this, you have thousands of stocks here, and because they're all like to be fair, there's loads of like new innovative companies that do exist. People just aren't like aware. Um, like people just miss out on
Yeah,
them
well,
because it's like so
they
niche.
get
But
pressed
there are
down by
like
the
sick
oligopoly.
companies, and this is like a really good way to find out about them. Like you look at the stock and you're like, oh shit, that's a new stock. You look it up and you can just research the company a bit just to see what they actually do, what field they work in, like what service they provide, and it's like you can like make a judgment just off that if it's worth investing. Like it's like that's like pretty much the fundamentals of it. You just want to invest in a company you actually believe in. Like Tesla's so sick because it's fucking ran by a fucking multi-talented
Alien.
genius, fucking Elon Musk. You know what I mean? He's like probably the hardest worker in the planet right now. Like he literally works all the time.
Well,
That
other
bloke.
than that, like African 10-year-old girl who's like mining diamonds in South Africa.
Well,
Yeah,
Majik, I was gonna ask. I mean, how's your ivory portfolio doing?
Look, man, I don't like to talk about it, right? It's a hard time in the local sector. I'm saying come spring, it's gonna come back up. I'm telling you, man. I'm holding.
What's you're holding?
he's
How,
hold strong, man. Hold strong.
how
Hold
many of your
strong. To the
poachers have
moon.
been Well, I guess they're not yours. I mean, I guess they're hired to a
Dude,
private.
it's from
What
some
do you
fucking
know?
hedge fund in Argentina, and then it goes to like some fucking banking company in Switzerland. I don't even know at this point, but look, the money comes. You know what I mean?
And the ivory
And well, yeah,
fit for the boner pills.
I get like little, mini like pieces that they mail to me like every month, and
Oh
then I
right,
make
or
I
little
add it.
sort of circles.
Yeah, I add it to the necklace, like different shapes and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's only been 6 deaths this month. That's actually not that bad.
Are they all deaths, or does that include like the Rangers who got like assassinated?
Well, I don't, I haven't read the
It's hidden,
report,
hidden.
so I just heard 6. I assume it's probably the Rangers because they don't really give a shit about the kids. They don't really report this.
Do you need to cover funeral costs?
I think that's taken care of by the oil company. That's sort of like, they came in March last year, and I think
BP.
some like
No,
subsidiary. But
okay.
yeah, they like went in and
That
they're
can't be
like,
traced.
yeah, well they take care of securities basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think they get like 10%.
They're a consultancy firm.
Yeah, they consult in burying bodies
Yeah, they
discreetly.
take consultancy fees.
Yeah, clandestine
Yeah,
operation.
£1 million for an hour or whatever.
But honestly, it's not even that big a deal.
Speaking fees.
Like, all these short sellers, they're like freaking out. Like, dude, like,
Shia LaBeouf.
these kids, they'll have their fun. They'll be like, oh, look at us, we're doing something, and then they'll get bored of it and go back to Skyrim or whatever they play, and everything will come
Good
back to
game.
normal, and the status quo will remain, and we'll just keep getting richer, and they'll keep getting poorer, and eventually they'll stop existing, and then only rich people will be left, and we can do cool stuff.
See, the
Like
thing is,
orgies.
you know what? Like, if their plan for like the world was they had loads of kids, right?
Hmm.
That I wouldn't be that mad, you know? Because think about
I
it,
mean, I
right?
get it,
Imagine if every like billionaire had like 20 kids, right? And then they have, say, 2 kids each between them. I mean, already, like, you can see how it multiplies into the general population. And when that guy dies, he's going to be splitting that money that many amount of ways, right? And it's just going to come more into, like, the economy. You know what I mean? See, right now, what we have is, like, poor people having more kids and rich people having, like, 1 or 2 kids, right?
Hmm.
And middle class people having, like, 1 or 2 kids. I should think we should, like, force the billionaires to have, like, 20 kids or something,
The 10-child
you know?
policy.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
We can give them tax rebates for having loads of kids. I think
exactly.
that's calm.
That's yeah, something like that. That'd be great. And then, that money will disperse into the general public at that point, you know?
Trickle down economics.
Yeah.
Mad.
That's what it is at the end of the day. Instead of it being locked up in one account, being passed down to like 1 or 2 people and being locked in their account, and then being passed down to like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people, and it's just very slow and it never. Because think about it, if Bill Gates decided to keep all his money, or not keep his money, but give his money to his like children or whatever when he died, they could give it to their children and their children and their children and their children and their children for hundreds of years potentially, assuming like there isn't some massive event of uh what's it called when the money goes down in value, inflation. In case that, unless there's like some massive event of hyperinflation,
Hmm.
you know they can support their offspring for hundreds of years basically. So imagine
Well, there
if,
probably is going to be some hyperinflation.
probably is,
Let's be
but
realistic.
yeah, probably is, but I mean, I doubt they're going to be the ones to suffer at the end of the day, you know what
Well,
I mean?
exactly. That's the thing. It
The
doesn't
people with
matter.
money never actually suffer with the hyperinflation,
Yeah.
so I think they're all good there anyway.
Because
So imagine
relatively, they're
if
still
instead
that much
they had to
richer
have,
than the poor people. That's the thing.
yeah, I mean, think about it. If they had 20 kids and then their kids had like, at least like 5 kids each, or whatever, on
Hmm.
average, you know, that's a lot of kids. And then they have kids with lots of people.
Here's
And
another.
then after only like 150 years or whatever,
Yeah.
you're just down to normal people living sort of middle class lifestyles again, and
The
it's
thing
gone
is,
fully back into
you're assuming
the
that
general
this process
population.
is just going to be like sort of continuous, and that nothing else will happen that will affect that.
No, I'm just saying it would be a good starting point,
Well, maybe.
you know?
I think you put it as a petition on gov.org, and we'll see if it gets traction.
I mean,
You can like put a hashtag or something.
the only problem with it is that I don't really want like, you know, a lot of these people's genes to enter the general population as
Oh yeah, because you got that
in as
psychopath
high
concept.
amounts. Because you got that psychopathy, yeah, psychopathy. I don't know if we really want to like encourage that growth in the population.
Misleading me
We don't need
over
more devil
and
worshippers.
over. But
Or
who
maybe we
says yeah, like
maybe we do. Maybe
let's
that's the answer.
let's have an honest discussion about if we need more devil worshippers or not. Is that possible?
Alex, as our
I
guest,
okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you. I'm honored to answer this.
what's your view on devil worship?
To be honest, yeah. So,
Do you think there's room for devil worship in cloud rap as well? It's a follow-up question.
Oh no, bro. Let me just get this sorted out. Yeah,
This
done and dusted,
misconception
right?
out of the way.
Okay.
Let's get this misconception out of the way, yeah, before anyone gets any like,
Ideas.
anything twisted. Yeah. All right. So,
Yeah.
cloud rap. Yeah, clouds, heaven. What's heaven? Clouds. Yeah. All right. So there's not
I
going
see.
to be any fucking devil worshipping in the scene. Yeah. We don't deal with the devil. Yeah. Fuck the devil on a low level, right? Oh shit! I just hit my mic.
I heard that.
Fucking, yeah, it's just like devil worshipping is like the gayest thing you could be doing right now. Like, it's just not. You're not cool for devil worshipping. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
What are your
not.
thoughts on just like not necessarily devil worshipping, but like occultic sort of practices in general? Like,
Yeah, I think it's all bullshit in my opinion. Like, it happens, but they don't gain anything from it. It's
what
just
do you
some
think
edgy
about
shit.
like what do you think about like
It's edgy.
focusing your intent and shit or whatever they sort of?
Yeah, that's called concentration, mate.
Yeah, but are there certain rituals you can
content.
do? Certain entities or
You know what I mean?
archetypes?
You know what I mean though? Like, it just sounds really crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not there fucking like blowing a
No.
candle to Raphael or some shit. That's not me. But I mean,
my man Raphael.
I just think like maybe there is some sort of like mental archetype or
I mean,
entity that you can reach
I-
out to like
I
focus
believe.
your energy into some sort of
Wait,
task,
hang
and
on,
these
hang on.
rituals are like a way of doing that. I think that's
Yeah. I agree only if the ritual involves like drugs because end of the day. Well, no, hear me
I
out.
second that. I
'cause-
second that actually.
Well, no, because like you can't you can't like enter into any different plane without drugs. You know what I
How
mean?
do you know? What about those people? What about those Native
You
Americans?
can't
get,
do
like,
it.
You can
Yeah.
do
They
it
get
from
like a
meditation.
psychedelic state. Yeah, you can get it through
What,
meditation.
through meditation? Okay.
No. There's
true.
these Native Americans who get it through pain as well. They get some like
Pain.
psychedelic state through pain.
How does that work?
It's just
Well,
heightening the human experience, bro.
Is it? Do they
Changing your
feel
brain
pain and then they
chemistry.
like focus on the pain? It's like really concentrated.
Yeah, like
and then they,
releases
like,
serotonin or some shit. I mean, look, it's
Some
just
shit.
manipulating
the
the brain
fuck?
chemistry in the right way, and drugs do
Yeah.
that, and and
Yeah,
other
to
things
be
do that as
fair-
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, that shit really baffles me. Like, you know that other guy, Wim Hof, like he can just control his body temperature.
Exactly.
He apparently he was in a hospital bed and they injected like fairly like deadly, not deadly, they just injected like some virus and he fought it off with his body like actively. I don't know how he proved it, but he just didn't get ill from the injection.
Mad.
Purposely injected. Yeah, it was quite a weird video. But yeah, what was I saying? Fuck about the devil worshipping shit.
You said it was, well, no, we're talking about like the ritual aspect of it.
Oh yeah. I was saying you need to have drugs for it. I can't lie, like because I don't think any amount of meditation or pain or any sort of like special technique can get you on a higher level than drugs. Like
I don't think anything will get you on like a DMT level. No, I agree.
like you can definitely reach higher levels than like I don't know your average dose of LSD probably through like years of meditation.
Yeah, well, I
But
know
you know what I mean?
dad-
That's
my dad did meditation, and he
Yeah,
was
you
talking about
told
the maddest experience. Where,
yeah, I
like,
swear he like ego death.
no, it was just some weird
Oh.
No, well, I don't know. Like, it was just some weird thing where he just like observed or some shit, like everything that was sort of happening in his brain, but wasn't like making it happen. Just like
Mm.
watching it and not being at all like concentrated on the body or whatever. It's a weird thing, but it's definitely like in that realm. It's definitely not normal consciousness, is all I'm saying. What are you laughing about?
I'll, I'll post.
Yeah.
I'll, I'll tell-
What do I think about
I'll swim half.
it? He's such a look at him, he's fucking. Oh my
He's like
god.
he's Santa Claus, mate.
He's actually a character though. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
My internet's so bad. It's oh wait, there we
See,
go.
like he's a real life wizard. That's what I'm talking about. Like he's a wizard.
Yeah. Especially with that that beanie. It's fucking just the
Bro,
whole.
when he's old, he will actually look like Dumbledore. Admit. Like if his bush, no, not his bush, his beard. His bush. if his
Dead your mate. Fucking hell.
Freudian slip. If his beard like keeps growing like some next length and his hair and it goes like that sort of like whitish grey, and he
Yeah,
wears
to be
that
fair.
hat.
Yeah. Yo, have you did
Dumbledore
you
used to have some weird hat.
did
yeah.
you watch that thing in primary school where it's like the Harry Potter characters made in like a cartoony version. It's like Dumbledore. He like says that there times like no. It's like tick tock tick tick tock. No.
Nah, don't think so.
Yeah, I just look like a retard.
You are a retard.
Well, thank you for finally clarifying that.
Mm.
It's good to get it off.
Well, once you face the reality, you can, move on.
Reality is we live in a simulation. The game is rigged. And good night. No, joking.
I mean, we can do the outro song now, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, whatever floats your boat, mate. I just clocked. Floats your boat. And the late night radio logo is a boat.
Shit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a weird like sailing ship.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, what did you think it was? It's a weird logo, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah, the name is Fred Boat.
Yeah, but we just changed. No, wait, what are you on about? No, it's
Fred
late night
Boat.
radio.
What are you chatting?
What's this Fred?
What?
Who's
Nah,
Fred?
I don't. We don't know any Fred bot here. It's only late night radio. That's all.
Yeah, sorry.
Gee,
Nah.
it's always been late night radio. It has never been anything else.
LNC. They tuned in every night, 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Eastern time.
Where
Catch
is
us on the Discord. Eastern time is like. Oh,
Is that
mate,
New York?
Yeah, I think so. Like Massachusetts.
Which is funny because it's like west of everywhere else, except California.
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 You
There's
too.
also east
The
of
U2 song, California. Fucking hell. Wait, what were you saying, sorry?
I only know that from The Simpsons.
Oh. Oh shit. I've exposed myself. I don't listen to YouTube.
I just put the end song on.
Wait, oh my fuck, I can't even. Oh my god. Bro, it actually hurts.
That hurts my throat so
It
much.
hurts the throat. Bro, I think
Homie,
our
I
voice has cracked like too much now we can't do it.
Bro,
He's
I have
cracked.
cancer now.
Bro.
I have hardcore
That's
throat
deep.
cancer. I just opened cuts in my throat and like residue fatty
Mate,
just went in
You have
and gave me cancer.
you have deep throat cancer.
Podcast is joking. Play the outro music.
I don't have the outro music. Alex has to do it.
Just it's in the chat.
Oh,
I
yeah.
am the outro
Oh,
music.
yeah. Right, hold on.
Sorry, that's probably so much.
We got some cloud rap for you today. Fucking
Big up
enjoy that.
Airtin.
There you
Enjoy
go.
that. Put that shit
This
on.
is on Alex's playlist, which you can
And
find
Screws
at
is me and Screws.
yeah
aka Spence.
Which, Alex,
aka
do you wanna
Terminator.
plug your thing? What's it?
Oh yeah, mate. cloudrapuk@gmail.com. That's our email for any submissions. Hit us up on the Insta. cloudrapuk.
Yeah.
That's our Insta. Literally everything is cloudrapuk. Get to know.
Yeah.
Big up.
All right. Cool.
Good night. Lovely stuff. Lovely jubbly, mate.
Cat, and I got green eyes. Wait, black North Face on, that's how I hide in the night. Wait, man, I already done told you, I'm so fly like pie. Nice, that girl looking so nice, I gave her D, she ride me like bag. Hey, and I might ball like Mike. Wait, grind like I skate, I make the pounds inflate. Wait, as of late I race, hating niggas from my space. Wait, rich niggas smoke vapes, wait, bake smoke haze. Know you brothers can't relate. Jeez, I'm sipping on my cherry aid. Move the fuck up my face. I'd never stay in my lane. I'm doing best shit, but I'm winning the race. Man, I'm so old school. I should have been born in 1988. 2019, still killing the shit. I had to say it just in case. I got a tick on my shoe, fuck on your boot, then I go fly to the moon. I feel like come to me Zoom. My diamonds are pink. I feel like margin B. Lyrics they kick, come through. I got a broom, he got a sticker, go boom. I'm vibing it out with my crew. Who the fuck are you? Let me just sip on my juice. Wait. Black cat, green eyes. Nice. Two-step in the dark, spilt drink on my Levi's. True. Ayy, pull up in the jungle, hoopty. I'm in a green ride. What you see, what you get. I don't come with no surprise. No, wait. Young Seke Wop at the top, he's the best. True. That girl moving all Arnie. Keep calling me for sex. Nice. You can never disarm me. Rivers come fast like 30. True. All my niggas move 30. All your niggas move nerdy. Bad bitch moving all squirty. Coming like squirt, all niggas get jumped like hurdles. I'm in a block in the south of the river and I'm smoking on herbals. Loud. Get murky on the beat like Merkel. Please don't take it personal. These niggas always tryna get rid of me. That's some common stupidity. Rolling through ends, yeah, that's my facility. Better than who are you kidding me? Gave her the hickory dickory. These niggas sick of me, wanna get rid of me. Smoking on hash, yeah, I'm smoking on headickies. Baddies on top of me, baddies they're onto me. Black cat, green eyes. Two-step in the dance, drink on my Levi's.